So hello. I just thought I'd tell you all a quick little story about something that happened to me a couple of months ago. Just as a little, not a warning, but a cautionary tale. a tale just to always make sure you're seeing what's going on around you. You're watching what's going on around you, and you don't fall for the games that these disgusting people play, because they will try and trip you up. So you always have to be aware of what's happening. And I think, although to say not trusting anyone, it seems like a really sad place to be, and it is, I suppose. But I think in terms of keeping you safe, it's really necessary, and let people earn your trust. You know, there's no rush in this. I find some registrations interesting. No. Anyway, yeah, let people earn your trust. You don't need to rush with people. You don't need to rush to connect with them, to let them know your business, to befriend them or whatever. You don't need to. You can take your time. You know, it stands to reason, really, doesn't it, that if you're being gang-stalked, you've probably been gang-stalked your whole life since you were a child. And they've managed to put every single person that's been in your life thus far around you. So it stands to reason that the people that are making connect with you now aren't all going to be good, decent people who want the best for you. There's going to be a certain percentage of the people that you're in contact with, whether it be through Facebook or YouTube, or, you know, people that reach out to you or leave comments, etc., or people on the street, people who try and befriend you in whatever situation, that do it for not good purposes. So, you know, just because someone says that they're a certain thing, or that they're in the same boat, or they're experiencing the same thing, or they claim to be a certain way or have a certain belief system, take everything everyone says with a pinch of salt, and, you know, make people earn your trust, and read between the lines as well, because, you know, a lot of these people like to leave little cryptic messages, and you know, if they meant any good for you, then my belief is that they'd probably just come out and tell you that they meant good for you. Of course, your mind's led to lead into certain places, and just try and trust your gut. Get in touch with your gut. Stop eating fucking sugar and destroying your gut, and trust your gut, and take your time when it comes to getting to know people. There's no rush. Second guess everything that everyone says. I certainly do, and I don't feel any shame about it. If people want the best for you, or they're good people, then they'll prove it through their actions. And anyone that is a target would be understanding of your trepidation. It's a big word, big word for me anyway. They would be understanding of it, because if they are a target, then they'll have experienced the same things, and they will be slow to trust people. They won't trust people. They won't have loads of friends around them. They won't have loads of people around them. And they would be understanding of the way that you're feeling. Take your time with these people, and don't take everyone at their word. A lot of us, speaking for myself here, in the past I was very naive and trusted everyone at their word, and it kind of helped them get to me and helped them fuck me over, basically. So, I'm sure they loved my naivety, my trust in nature. I'm the total opposite now. I don't trust anyone. I don't take anyone at their word. I question everything everyone says, and that's the way I'm always going to be. So, once bitten, twice shy, and all that. But yeah, my little cautionary tale. I was in a supermarket a couple of months ago, and I always use cash to pay for everything, and I'd put my cash in, scanned my items, done a self-service. I started putting my cash in, and it took a certain amount of cash, and then it started spitting coins back out at me, as if it was full. But it was a Sunday morning, and the shop had only just opened, so surely the kind of the in thing for the cash isn't going to be full at first thing in the morning. But I kept doing this, so eventually I shouted the girl over, and I said, spit my money out, and she went, "Oh, it does that sometimes." I was like, "Alright." So she went away, and she got like that they do the thing for the birds, keep the birds off the crops. It's always when I'm walking by, though. I can't I won't get too paranoid about the situations, but it's probably on a timer. But yeah, always the threatening with the trigger, trigger. Shooting, trigger, IRA, shooting, trigger, IRA. Always with the IRA shit. It's funny, it's the military that are doing this, and they're determined for me to believe this is the IRA. Oh, I don't know, should be ashamed of themselves, the amount of military personnel that have been killed by the IRA, but, I don't pretend to know what goes through these cunts' heads. Anyway, I go over and get the girl, and she says, "Oh, it does that sometimes." So she goes and gets a little cup full of change. So I give her the money that I've still left to pay, and then she's taken different, say it's like £1 or something. It wasn't that much, probably like £1 left to pay. So I give her £1. So I've paid for my shopping pretty much. She's got my £1, and she's putting different coins, 10p's and 20p's in the machine, and it's kind of taking some, and then she goes, "Oh, I'll be back in a sec," and she goes away. And then she comes back a couple of minutes later, and she goes, "Sorry about that." She doesn't actually go anywhere. She just kind of walks away as though she's got to do something, but she doesn't actually do anything. And she comes back, and she puts a couple more coins in, and then she goes, "Oh, I'll be back in a second." Again, she goes away to say something to one of her colleagues, but it's not an emergency. They could have came to her. She's in the middle of helping someone. She's just doing this to piss me off. Remember, always be aware of what these fucks are doing. It never makes sense. Their actions never make sense, because it's not sensible. The normal people don't act that way, they just don't. But as she's gone the second time, and I kind of realised the second time I realise every time I go into a shop or I go out anywhere that these people are around to fucking mess with me. But I realised after the second time she walks away that when she's putting the coins in the machine, she's standing outside of the view of the camera. The self-service checkouts have a camera on them facing you. So I'm in the camera, and she's standing to the side, but I've moved aside, but she's making sure that her face is not in the camera. And I'm thinking, that's fucking odd, it's bizarre. So anyway, she comes back the third time, and she puts a couple more coins in it, and then she goes, "Oh, you don't have to stay, And I go, "What?" And she goes, you don't have to stay. You've already gave me the money. You can go." And I think, yeah, that'll be fucking shining bright. That's exactly what you want me to do, isn't it? You want me to walk away here owing money. I've not got the receipt. So I go, "Nah, it's all right. I'll wait until it's paid. Thanks very much," and get my receipt. And she kind of looks at me like I'm a fucking nutcase for saying that. And then goes, "Okay." And then puts the last coin in. It was only like 20p owing. She puts the last coin in so I can get my receipt. So, you need to watch these people. They would have been fucking loving it. Can you imagine I'd walked away at that point? I'd think, well, I've gave her the money. I've paid for my shopping. I walk out the door with my shopping, but on the screen it's still saying that I owe money. They'd have been jumping all over that shit, wouldn't they? They've got me, spread around that all these things that I am. I'm a disgusting person, an animal abuser, a child abuser, a liar, a cheat, I'm a thief, I steal from supermarkets. You know, they just want to carry on, like, adding the charges on, adding more and more and more things on to fit into their narrative about the type of person that you are. So, you know, keep your wits about you with these cunts, because they're always going to be around doing shit like this. And you know, if you're naive and you don't stand your ground and you just take people at their word, you know, if that had happened a few years ago, I would have went, oh, okay, thanks very much, and just walked away, not realising the consequences of me doing that, and not realising that it was going to be something that they could use against me in the future. But now, I don't care how rude it sounds, or the way she looked at me like I was a nutcase. I don't care. Look at me like I'm a nutcase. You carry on, you know, do it all day long. I don't give a fuck. But you ain't going to catch me with your stupid shit like that. So, that's my little cautionary tale. That's the IRA again. Did you hear them? Bang, bang. They shot you down. Bang, bang. We pretended to be IRA. Bang, bang. We are the military. Bang, bang. Ricky Sinclair is a prick. I'll tell you all about him one day. Anyway, you take care. God bless and all that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.